I wrote my essay for China Changes Everything when Philadelphia, the sixth largest city in the U.S., was facing the perspective of a catastrophic cuts in buses, trains, and regional rail lines. The cuts were due to take effect starting in late August, with more to come in 2026. With a population of 1.6 million people, surrounded by 5.8 million more in neighboring suburbs, the impact was hard to fathom. Multiple bus routes were being eliminated, and services on others were severely cut back. Millions of workers were finding it hard to get to and from their jobs. High school students who rely on public transportation were missing classes. When the Pennsylvania legislature refused to secure the necessary funding, continuous public pressure, along with the political ambitions of the state's Democratic governor, managed to find a temporary solution. Money was taken from the state's, quote, rainy day fund and from a capital budget designed for long-term transit system structural updates. The crisis receded for now. At best, this fix was temporary. It did nothing to address the crisis in a capitalist system that fails to prioritize public transportation. While services were restored, antiquated trains and limited rail lines continue to plague the system. The long-planned fast-speed Acela trains, scheduled to finally roll out after years of delay, were put on hold once again due to the system's structural problems. Putting a Band-Aid on cancer only lets cancer cells fester and spread. The crisis facing Philadelphia is not unique. It plagues major cities across the U.S., where workers have to deal with antiquated and severely underfunded transit systems, even as the cost of assessing them continues to rise. We live in an economic system that prioritizes spending for war above all else. If profits are not the driving force of an economic system, finding adequate funding for human needs, including public transportation, is not only possible, but a priority, as in socialist China. China's massive transport system, consisting of rail, road, air, and waterways, handled 640 million interregional passenger trips, averaging 180 million trips per day, marking a 5.4% growth year on year, according to the 2024 China Transportation Industry Statistical Bulletin released by China's Ministry of Transport. I could say more about this, and the book does, but I want to focus on how important this book is for the movement in the U.S. at this time. I had an opportunity to sell the books at a fundraising event, but was blocked by one of the organizers who insisted that China, quote, is an imperialist power, end quote, and is, quote, pursuing their own hegemonic regional agendas, end quote. He repeated the usual bourgeois propaganda about the Uyghurs and oppression in Tibet. My response was to encourage him to read the book to address his misconceptions about China, which every activist in the U.S. should do. As authors who contributed to this important collection of essays, we share an obligation to promote it. Thank you.